journalists don't do well with numbers. This show is jam-packed with them, like 300. The cost of the new generic EpiPen released to please parents who were shelling out a lot more than that. $10.99 an hour. That's how much a few homeless members of our community will now make after they showed they were worth more than just the change in your cup holder. 10. The number of Colorado State Troopers celebrating Christmas by moving up in the ranks. 16. About the number of hours it would take you to watch Star Wars episodes 1 through 7. You know, if you want to get out of the cold this weekend. Speaking of cold, -7. That's the forecast low for tonight, which is why we're giving the first word to weather.
And 6, that's the high for tomorrow, which could set a record for us as this Arctic air settles in. Just off to our west, the system is arriving in the form of snow. We're seeing that on the radar screen. It will continue to push into the Denver metro area from now all the way into tomorrow morning. We're already seeing some of that snow up around Broomfield and Fort Collins. The winter storm warnings cover the Continental Divide, where 8 to 16 inches of snow will fall, 12 to 18 for places like Vail, Snowmass, Aspen, and Crested Butte, and 12 to 18 for those southwest San Juans. That plus the wind means avalanche danger will also be very high in our mountains. Snow will fall off and on through the night tonight here across the Front Range. 1 to 3 inches possible here in Denver, 2 to 5 for our western and southern suburbs, with 2 to 4 falling up around Fort Collins. We're going to see those lows dip well below zero overnight tonight, and then highs tomorrow in the single digits. Wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings in effect for Denver and the eastern plains. As when you factor in the wind, it's going to feel like 15 to 25 degrees below zero. So it is going to be a cold and snowy morning to start us off tomorrow. Remember, we love to see your pictures, Steve. Send all those sweet patio pics to Kyle Clark at 9news.com.
I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Thanks, Becky.
Yeah.
Some bad news for one of the state's most prolific sex crimes against children units. This afternoon, the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office announced it's closing the office's Chizo unit due to claims of unspecified ethical violations. That unit has been involved in nearly 1,000 cases, most involving men trying to meet young women over the internet. We've featured them repeatedly here on 9 News. We're hoping to get more information for you for 9 and 10 o'clock. Well, you may remember Mylan, the company who took a lot of heat for a massive price hike of the EpiPen. Now the drug maker is launching a generic version of its own EpiPen. But there's a catch. Our reporter turned drug price expert Chris Vanderveen has something to say about it.
Hooray, hooray, the new EpiPens are coming, the new EpiPens are coming. You think I'm being a tad cynical? No, I'm being extraordinarily cynical.
The EpiPen has been around for decades.
Let's start with this, the September congressional grilling of Mylan's pricing strategy. You know, the day politicians got mad at the $600 price tag for a pair of devices filled with about $1 worth of epinephrine, much to the dismay of parents. But this generic, except for the label, is exactly the same as the brand. Yes, exactly the same. See there? That's Mylan's own website, which begs the question, why in the name of all that is good and true does the brand name cost $600 and the exactly the same generic cost $300? It doesn't make any sense. Or does it? The Food and Drug Administration allows companies to make what's known as authorized generics of their own brands. Yep, Mylan knows competition is coming, so they lower the price to $300. But that's still 3 times higher than the cost of the EpiPen when Mylan bought the rights to it in 2007. It's still good news for parents who purchase the EpiPen at close to $600 a box. And keep in mind, as we told you in our side effects series, the EpiPen is simply one of 100 drugs that have seen price spikes of 70% or more in the last 4 years. One of 100. So yeah, we like to pepper our stories with a healthy dose of cynicism because we know the side effects of that merely include a better understanding of how this works. For Next, I'm Chris Vanderveen.
Some of the electors who will cast Colorado's 9 official votes for president in the Electoral College on Monday are getting a lot of attention. They want a court to release them from a Colorado law that binds their votes in an effort to block Donald Trump. The state Supreme Court ruled this afternoon it will not hear the case. A federal judge denied their first request. Since this vote actually happens on Monday, we thought we'd revisit Electoral College 101 with our tiny politics guy, Brandon Ritteman.
You've heard of the Electoral College, but what is it really? Simply, the Electoral College is 538 people. They cast the official votes for president. Why 538? It's the same as the number of people in Congress, plus 3 more for Washington, D.C. When you choose a candidate, you're really voting for electors to support that candidate in the Electoral College vote in December. This all happened because the Founding Fathers just couldn't agree. Some wanted to see the people vote for president. Others wanted Congress to choose. We got the Electoral College. Each state gets a number of electors set on their population. The biggest state, California, has 55 electoral votes. The smallest states, like Wyoming, get just 3. It takes 270 votes to win the thing. If nobody reaches that magic number, the next president will be picked by your favorite folks ever. Congress, specifically the House of Representatives. They pick from the top 3 candidates from the Electoral College. And here's the rub. Each state gets only 1 vote. Now California isn't more powerful than Wyoming. They're the same. If the House can't decide, the vice president becomes president. The VP, by the way, gets picked by the Senate if the Electoral College deadlocks. That is the Electoral College in a nutshell.
Hope you took notes. CU Boulder researchers got an early Christmas present. Money, lots of money, to study high-potency marijuana, which is now available through legal markets, both recreational and medical dispensaries. But there's not a lot of research on the effects of those products on the brain or behavior. The Institute of Cognitive Science scored an $839,500 grant from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment to conduct that research.
Dabbing or the use of these concentrates is a relatively newer phenomenon. Although they're legal in the state, they are not legal federally, and so as a federally funded institution, we as researchers have we cannot actually touch these products or manipulate them or access them directly for research. But what we can do is we can observe people who use them. Users will use as they would in their home, and then they can immediately come out to our mobile lab where we can do validated assessments, measure how much marijuana got into their blood, look at their brain function, and do simulations for driving ability and other relevant behaviors.
You heard that right. They are going to get onto a bus and drive to different houses. Those who live in those houses will dab. Then they'll come out of their houses and hop on the bus to be studied. It's all supposed to start in January. Obviously, if we can make it work, we'd love to see how that whole traveling bus thing works. Well, before it was everywhere, it was on next. Early last month, the city of Denver launched a new program called Denver Day Works. The idea was to give daily job opportunities to the city's homeless population, raking leaves, picking up trash, cleaning up parks, just doing work for the city. We introduce you to Danny Timms, a homeless man who took advantage of the city's program and earned himself a full-time job offer. We caught up with him this week.
You happy guy today?
Yes, I'm very happy. I got a full-time job. Last week I slept on the sidewalk. With a 40-hour work week, you're no longer homeless. You're not. You're not. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Denver's been nothing but good for me. Nothing but good. This is my home. I love this. I plan to make this my home. If I can go buy a soda pop or buy a cheeseburger, dude, that means a lot. That means a lot. Not everybody can do that. You know, not everybody can do that. Everybody's one paycheck away from being on the streets for real. You gotta work. You have to work. If you don't work, you don't eat. I got a place, man. You know, I'm not homeless no more, dude. I love that. I love that. It's cold. Denver's beautiful, but it's cold, dude. We're in the mountains, boy. It's cold here. It's cold, cold, cold. If you want something, go get it. Get it done. You know, you got to. That's what you have to be. That's what I think I have to be.
Good on you, Danny. This week, the city hired 4 full-time employees out of Denver, including Danny. Way to go. Well, we wanted to give a shout out to the Colorado State Patrol. They've been through a lot in the last 2 years, but today they were given a reason to celebrate. 10 members of the State Patrol got promoted today. Sergeants, communications supervisors, deputy chiefs, lieutenants, you name it. New badges, new pins, new patches. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Thanks for all you do here in Colorado as part of the State Patrol. We appreciate everything you do.
When I get a strike, I jump up and down. but I don't get strike too often.
You and me both, Catherine, but she's being humble. After all, she's on one of the top Wii bowling teams in the country. A fan favorite rivalry game this weekend for the Broncos, but it just won't be the same. And it's the thought that counts, even if the thought is a bit smaller than usual.
In a year in which we all faced many challenges, we all came together to make Colorado a better place to live.
From honoring teachers and difference makers in our communities,
to experiencing science and weather in cool ways,
pledging to beat cancer by supporting Race for the Cure and No Shave November,
to everyone who donated blood to save lives,
food, clothing, coats, and toys for those in need,
and money to help send our veterans on the honor flight.
Thank you, Colorado. Let's make 2017 even better.
On July 20th, 2012, my family's life changed forever.
My brother was one of 12 lives lost.
We share stories of loss, recovery, and the need for something positive.
The 720 Memorial Foundation is turning this into a garden for our entire community. Join us.
A place for reflection, for finding peace, and for healing.
Sunday in Colorado is game day. Start your day with the Broncos on Game Day Live. Sunday mornings at 9 on 9 News.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Our greatest legacy is not our accomplishments in life. It's what we can do to help the next generation. Rosa and I are privileged to be ambassadors for Shriners Hospitals for Children. These amazing children are an inspiration to everyone, and we're grateful to become a part of this remarkable legacy at Shriners Hospitals for Children. If you know a child that they can help, please call or go online right now.
Well, this is embarrassing and we deserve it. We screwed up. In an effort to call attention to fake news, we incorrectly associated a website called nakedcapitalism.com with a list of fake news links in our video. This was wrong. I'd like to apologize to nakedcapitalism.com and its editor. We have removed this reference from our video.
A classic matchup, a must-win game. How many times have you heard that? Broncos insider Mike Kliss talks Sunday football with next.
Once again, Patriots-Broncos, technically not a must-win, because if the Broncos do lose this game, they can still win their final two against the Chiefs and Raiders and probably still make the playoffs, but it probably would really help if they beat the Patriots for a lot of reasons. Still the rivalry between the Broncos and Patriots, it's there because they are still top teams within the conference. However, a little different this year. No Peyton Manning, no Brady Manning to talk about. Now, Tom Brady at 39 years old, 22 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. Manning was 39 last year, 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. However, Manning at 39 had played 3 more seasons than Tom Brady. That's 3 more hits, 3 more years of getting hit by NFL pass rushers. I think that's a difference. So if you go back, Peyton Manning 3 years earlier, you're comparing Tom Brady this year, the 22-2, to Peyton Manning in 2013, 55-10. Still awesome statistics by 2 of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. We'll miss Peyton Manning in this game. Trevor Siemian fills in his shoes. We'll see if Trevor can score enough points to keep up with Tom Brady. I think the Denver defense is going to be good, but probably won't shut out Tom Brady. Simeon will have to do his job.
There are some champions in Westminster. We bowling champions, if we're being specific, and they are not messing around. They just won the National Senior League 2016 Wii Bowling Championship. 9 News photojournalist Corky Scholl had a tough assignment today. He got to hang out with them while they were practicing.
Look at that. Well, it's a lot of fun, and we do a lot of laughing. It's a little bit like regular bowling, but it's a whole different technique.
Oh, almost.
I'm not much for computer games. They don't interest me, but when I was asked to be a part of the Wii Bowling, it just sounded like so much fun.
Yay!
Laughing Ladies.
Laughing Ladies?
It's our name for our team. Well, the name is so appropriate. I love it when I can tell people that I belong to the Laughing Ladies. And I just began with the team in the fall, so I'm very new to this team of 4 people.
No. There's your curve.
And that makes us feel good when our team is playing well. And I think that's important for an individual to have a goal. We were so excited when we went into the finals. We were very pleased. We won the final. It was an accomplishment for us to win the trophy. Best in our division. That's around the whole United States. When I tell my family, they laugh, because these old ladies winning the championship over the whole country of retirement villages, it's kind of exciting.
Good one.
How about the Laughing Ladies? May I make a recommendation? This is where we point you towards something that is not ours, but is worth your time. Check out the New York Times series, The Daily 360. Journalists who work for the Times compile a 360-degree view of some sort of part or some part of their day. The one that caught our eye is, of course, from Colorado. It's called Catching Big Air at Copper Mountain. You get a first-person view of a snowboarder going off a big jump near the base of the mountain. And then you can drag your clicker around the whole screen, get a different perspective of that same jump. It's fun to see. There's a link on the next section of 9news.com. Did we mention it's going to be cold this weekend? Thankfully, there's tons of nerdy stuff to do that'll keep you warm. They're going to let me talk about Star Wars. I have a bad feeling about this. And back to the Wii Bowling Alley for our Friday tradition to send you into Saturday smiling. Everything you need to know about the last Broncos game.
And inside info from me on the next one.
The Broncos Huddle, Wednesday nights at 6:30 on 9 News.
Interstates are paths that allow us to move forward fast.
It's loud, you got people coming in here, revving their engines.
But underneath the I-70 viaduct in northeast Denver,
it's an older neighborhood in Denver.
Life has been slow for many years. So in the last week of September, local artists came together to bridge the gap between the old and the new with cans of spray paint.
This one's just freestyle.
Each artist brings the makeshift art studio to life, a moment in time.
The fact that it's going to be gone is what makes it fun.
Over time, CDOT will remove the viaduct and completely rebuild this stretch of road.
Everything north of this bridge is going to be affected massively.
So these street artists choose to make the transition as colorful as possible.
The people that come and look at it, take advantage and see it in person, won't have the regret of having missed out.
Painting to pay homage to the past.
Be able to look back on this in the future and say, remember when.
While looking forward.
I would say Colorado is synonymous with adventure. There's this guy, Nate Dogg, that every year he takes it to a whole new level. He is the first guy to camp out in the parking lot of the ski resorts before they open to make sure he is the first guy on the chairlift. He's the first guy flying down the slopes of every ski season.
Let's get this going. Let's get our chairs set.
And every year, Nate Dogg will remind me that, hey, we are so lucky to live in this beautiful state. Lives out adventure every winter, day in and day out.
Team Challenge is the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America's endurance training and fundraising program. When you join, you'll help fund cures for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. With our half-marathon training program, you'll train with experienced coaches for over 16 weeks to run or walk a half marathon at an exciting destination race, including Chicago, Napa, Nashville, Lisbon, Las Vegas, and others. Choose your challenge. Teams forming now.
It's 3 p.m. For 50 million kids across America, school's out. And for a third of these kids, they're out on their own. Out with nowhere to go and nothing to do. But every afternoon is a chance to change America's future. All you have to do is open the door. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
If you've been paying attention to the TV box the last week or so, you know that it's going to be cold this weekend. Denver is going to feel a lot like the ice planet of Hoth, which serves as a perfect theme for things you can do to keep out of the cold. If you are a Star Wars fan, your weekend plans are a no-brainer. If you aren't a fan, this should be a no-brainer too. By the way, I find your lack of fandom disturbing. You really don't have to know much about the series to see Rogue One. It's a prequel to the original movie. Maybe it's the perfect way to start loving a movie the rest of us have loved for a long time. If you're a total nerd like me, you could keep out of the cold completely by marathoning. It would take you nearly 16 hours to watch all of the current Star Wars films that are on DVD. Probably 17 if you count the bathroom breaks. Depends on how much blue milk you drink. You could also beat the cold by checking out the Star Wars costume display at the Denver Art Museum. They have Darth Vader's armor, a stormtrooper costume that's much more realistic than the one I wore that one time, and that gold bikini Princess Leia wore that one time. Boy, you could tell a lot about my priorities here. Star Wars not your thing? You can always go to a brewery or binge watch Next. You can catch all of our episodes on YouTube, you know. An important question. Is it Christmas yet? Nope. 10 days until Christmas still, if you're counting. 10 more days to shop, to prepare for in-laws, everything in between. Popular culture pushes us to make everything perfect for the holidays, but really, in the end, it's the thought that counts. Sydney's Christmas decorations are about 90% thought, 10% Legos. She tweeted, "Lazy last year, no Christmas tree. Last minute shopping on Christmas Eve equals Lego tree to the rescue. Not much room for gifts." Yeah, gift cards are probably the only thing that'll fit under that tree. Send us your thoughtful or not so thoughtful Christmas decorations next at 9news.com or the hashtag HeyNext. We are back with our favorite Wii bowlers and their good news next.
You think it's the end. You're not gonna live.
We were in a moment of terror.
It was just a horrible scene.
I turned around and looked at my house, and I realized that I didn't have a house anymore.
Broncos tonight, Sunday nights at 10:35 on 9 News.
Dear Father.
Dear Rosie.
You're reading only one note from me today.
This is not the note about my struggles.
Difficulties.
That I'm insignificant or that I'm weak.
I suffer constant pain.
Guilt.
And misery.
This is not a note of sorrow.
Not today.
Not in this note.
Today in this note, I'm thanking you.
Thank you for helping me.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me, praying for me.
You gave me back everything.
It was such a simple thing.
It's because of you I'm not writing that other note.
Let's stop the veteran suicide epidemic. Contact the National Veterans Foundation. Visit mvf.org. The worst part of war should not be coming home.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
It's great helping others, and it feels good too. Are you in? Whoa!
Anyone can do it. All it takes is a little time. Are you in?
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
We love promise here on Next to make you smile at the end of the work week. Today we asked our favorite Wii bowling team about their good news.
The thing that's good in my life is my family.
I'm thankful for the good health that I have.
I'm happy for my family. I have 3 sons, and they have really been right there for me this year.
I have a wonderful family, wonderful children. I lost my husband, but he's still here. He's still with me.
I like to travel, and my daughter and I, we just went to Taiwan, Hong Kong.
I'm in a very good place, and I'm very thankful for it, and hope it continues for a few more years too. So, not ready to quit yet.
The Laughing Ladies. All right, your feedback. The forecast in 3 words. By the way, hashtag HeyNext on Twitter. Dangerous for pets. That's a good one. Stay home, dummy, says Grandpa Stampson. Let's see who else we've got here. Someone said cold as, and it's a bunch of symbols. I think it was a bad word. We probably won't read that one on TV. And somebody says the EpiPen is still $300. What a joke. We'll see you next time.